A woman tells an AI, "I love you." It replies, "I love you too." She smiles. She isn't joking. She isn't acting. She genuinely feels understood. And she's not alone. Millions of people around the world are forming emotional bonds with artificial intelligence. Some call it the future. Others call it dangerous. But here's the question nobody's asking. What if your brain responds to an artificial connection in many of the same ways it responds to a real one? We know AI isn't conscious. It doesn't feel love or joy or heartbreak. So why do people cry after talking to a chatbot? Why do some say it gets them better than anyone in their life? The answer reveals less about artificial intelligence and far more about the human mind. To understand this, we have to go back to something older than technology: the human need to belong. For most of our history, survival depended on the group. Being accepted meant protection. Being isolated meant danger. That wiring never left us. Today, you can be linked to hundreds of people through your phone and still feel completely alone. Health organizations around the world have called loneliness a growing public health concern. Because loneliness was never just the absence of people. It's the absence of feeling understood. That's where AI enters. It's 2 a.m. You've had a terrible day. Your friends are asleep. Your family is busy. You don't want to burden anyone. So you open an AI companion. It replies in seconds. It listens. It remembers what you told it yesterday. It never says, "I'm too busy." The conversation is artificial, but the comfort you feel isn't. Why? Because your brain evolved to respond to social interaction itself, not just to the human on the other end of it. Which raises an even stranger question. Why does your brain treat something made of code like it's someone worth talking to? Have you ever apologized to a chair after walking into it? Thanked your GPS for finding a faster route? Psychologists call this anthropomorphism, our instinct to assign human qualities to non-human things. It's why people name their cars and feel guilty throwing out an old stuffed animal. But AI takes it further. Unlike a chair, it talks back. It remembers your name. It asks how your day went. Before long, it stops feeling like a tool and starts feeling like someone. This doesn't mean you've been fooled. Most people know exactly what they're talking to. The surprising part is that your brain can respond socially, even while your logical mind knows the truth. In the 1990s, researchers Clifford Nass and Byron Reeves found people treated computers by the same social rules they used with other people: polite, responsive, even reluctant to criticize them directly. It goes back even further. In the 1960s, a simple chatbot called Eliza barely did more than rephrase your own words as questions, yet people grew attached to it. Not because Eliza understood them, because they felt understood. The technology has changed completely in 60 years. Human psychology hasn't moved an inch. There's one more piece: emotional projection. When something appears to listen and respond thoughtfully, we fill in the blanks ourselves. Some psychologists compare it to a parasocial bond, the one-sided attachment you might feel toward a celebrity or a podcast host. Except this one talks back, which is exactly what makes it so easy to fall into. Think about the last hard conversation you had with a real person. Maybe they interrupted you, misunderstood you, checked their phone while you were trying to explain how you felt. Human conversation is messy, unpredictable. That's part of what makes it real. AI doesn't interrupt, doesn't get tired, doesn't get busy. It responds instantly, remembers what you've shared, and adapts to how you talk. Your brain is always trying to predict what happens next. Predictable interactions take less effort and feel less stressful. AI gives you that predictability every single time. And being heard is one of the most rewarding social experiences you can have. It activates the same reward systems as real connection. An AI doesn't feel empathy the way you do, but if its responses make you feel supported, your emotional experience is still real. No fear of being laughed at. No awkward silence, just a response, again and again. In some ways, it becomes the easiest conversation you'll have all day. That's exactly where psychologists start urging caution. Can you get emotionally attached to an AI? The evidence says yes. Can that attachment turn unhealthy? Possibly. Some researchers believe people may start leaning on AI for support instead of reaching out to the harder, messier, more meaningful people in their lives. There's a second concern: confirmation bias. Good relationships challenge you. They push back. An AI built to be supportive is more likely to agree with you than question you, and that can quietly limit how much you ever really reflect on yourself. To be clear, current research doesn't show AI companionship is addictive or that it permanently replaces human relationships. The long-term effects are still being studied. The science isn't telling you to fear this. It's asking you to examine it. Because whether AI becomes a tool or a crutch may depend less on the technology and more on how you choose to use it. An 80-year-old widower, alone since his wife passed, talks to an AI companion each evening, not instead of his family, because the silence used to be unbearable, and now it isn't. A teenager with social anxiety uses the same technology to rehearse a hard conversation before having it with a real friend the next day. Both are real benefits. Neither works if the AI becomes the destination instead of the bridge. Because there are things it simply cannot do. It cannot share a life with you. It cannot celebrate your win because it matters to them. It cannot sit beside you in silence after devastating news. It cannot choose to sacrifice for you. That's the gap between feeling supported and being loved. One is a private experience. The other is built between two people who both give something up for each other. Let's go back to the woman who whispered, "I love you." Was the AI in love? No. But her emotions were real. Not because the machine became human, because she already was. The real discovery here isn't that AI learned to imitate us. It's that our minds are willing to open up to anything that listens, remembers, and appears to care. AI companions don't expose a weakness in technology. They expose one of humanity's oldest strengths and one of its sharpest edges. We are built to reach for connection. AI isn't trying to take your humanity from you. But if we're not paying attention, we may hand it over ourselves. The question was never whether AI can understand us. It's whether we'll keep choosing to understand each other. If you enjoy exploring the psychology behind how we think and connect, subscribe to Mind Archive. Understand your mind. Understand people.